All right. Welcome back. Sorry about that. I'm a couple minutes late. I got caught up chatting with people in the chat room. Felt good to use my own chat room. I want to start doing it more often. That was fun. That was fun. I felt like a guest in my own home. How y'all doing this fine evening? What's today? It is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Around this time of the week, people start to feel a whole lot better. Shout out to everybody in the room, chopping it up with Nikki. Cars, I hate cars, requested that I talk about something that I want to talk about today, so I'm going to talk about that today. He just asked, and it's a very good topic, and that is no other organism feeds other organisms' children. Especially don't treat them as if they're children. Only humans do that. Creatures are very stingy when it comes to food. Food only goes into their own personal mouth, and the only other entity that all other organisms will feed is their children. That's not petty. That's very serious. Think of all the money, all the food, resources you waste on a dog. That could have been going into your kid's savings account. You dump thousands of dollars on a dog for decades, a good 2 decades as a parent. Imagine how much you could have saved up for them had you saved that money. So I'm going to come back to that. Because when you talk about feeding your kids or feeding someone else's kids, that's a very personal and intimate thing. It's very personal. And dogs, simply put, don't deserve to be fed by us. They don't. We'll come back to that. Shout out to Mutt Free World in the building, who has been a member for 13 months. Shout out to everybody in the building. Nikki Kittens, Mr. Champagne in the house, King Babe, I Hate Cars, of course. Right, did I say kittens? Anxiety, big shout out to you. Mr. Street Smarts, Buster Gundo. Chief Jamal, big shout out to you, who is a member of the channel. Slime in the house. Good to see everybody up in here. Hope you all doing well. Wish you well. Shout out to you, who is a member of the channel. Big shout out to Nikki Vaughn in the chat room. Nikki Vaughn in the super chat. Much love. Man, I love the Crusaders like brothers and sisters. You all keep me so sane. I'm like Nikki Vaughn. Nikki said the same thing. You know, this helps keep me sane. That's why I come back here so often. If y'all haven't noticed, it's the one moment where I know I'm dealing with people with good sense. You have no idea how therapeutic that is. And I hope you all are benefiting from these videos and the time we spend here interacting as well. A big problem I have with this dog culture is how it doesn't value humans and actually is anti-human, where these people think it's a badge of honor to hate people. Some type of badge of honor to even hate their own kids, hate kids in general. It's widely and openly accepted to say mean, hateful things about children, in contrast to dogs. Dog lovers, you all know it. You all know that I'm telling the truth. You make it a major part of your culture to project dogs as better than people and better than kids. So you've had your time in the sun. We allowed you to insult and degrade us for so long without saying anything in return. Have y'all noticed that as well? Shout out to We Hate Dogs in the building. Who's it? Popcat Gaming. Shout out to you. Okay, isn't that? Have y'all noticed this? What is going on? What's going on? But anyways, let's get into the subject of this live stream. And that is the horrible details of Alejandro Mizsan. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. They gave an update on him. This was the 9-year-old boy who was mauled. I believe this was in the UK. Was it the UK? I think you all remember him. This took place a few weeks ago. He was badly mutilated. And he is currently recovering. I don't want to spend too much time showing him. I don't want YouTube to disable my comment section. But can y'all believe what they did with this boy? They bought him a stuffed dog. They described it as a dog teddy to try to help him overcome fears of dogs. Can y'all believe that? People, when I read this, I was frozen. I was frozen. I couldn't believe it. But it's real. Why would they do that? Oh, I have a huge problem with this. I got a huge problem with this. Because this falls in line with the exposure therapy. This sounds like it sounds like something that they got from what doctors suggest you do if you have, cynophobia, fear of dogs. Like they mentioned exposure therapy. Well, you just need to be around dogs. If you have a fear of dogs, you need to be around them. They even tell you to stare at the dogs. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. All the way out of space. They bought this boy a dog, a teddy dog, to try to help him overcome his fears. No, you want those fears. You want those fears. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with a child being afraid of something that is deadly and actually enjoys killing them. If a child doesn't fear that, what do you expect them to fear if they don't fear deadly creatures that can easily dismember them, devour them? And they actually are on record, based on the statistics, dogs prefer to attack children. See, and in these anti-dog platforms, that's the only place where kids can hear this. Nobody else is telling them this. Nobody else is telling them that dogs prefer to attack them. Dogs will see a crowd of people. They will go for the child. The adults, the only time they get attacked for the most part is when there are no kids around. Kids, do you understand that? This is not man's best friend. A big part of my book is focusing on eradicating that narrative that this is man's best friend, because it's that narrative, I think, that really it's the foundation of nuttery. This idea that we have this long-term relationship with dogs. Get out of here. We were made for each other. Would they say dogs evolved so that they could adapt to humans and all this nonsense? Oh, they developed eyebrow muscles and they're so adapted to us, yet they attack us far more than any other animal. The next closest thing is cats, and that's like 400,000 cat bites per year. Okay, 400,000. You have to double that to only get the ER visits in dog attacks. That's compared to 4.5 to 5 million. What a joke. So they bought him this teddy bear. Listen, we need to drastically reorganize how we view the world, how we view dogs. There's no reason why you should want kids to have absolutely no fear of a flipping pit bull, Rottweiler, or some other massive beast that can easily destroy them. And instead, you all want to tell them that they have a mental problem because they're afraid of dogs. People, they've diagnosed it. They call it a mental disorder. Xenophobia. That's where this is coming from. The only time it would be a problem for a child to be afraid of an animal is if that animal was harmless. I've talked about this already. That's the only time it would make sense for you to try to encourage a child to get over their fear of something. Why on earth would you want them to not feel any sense of danger in the presence of a dog, especially when they can refer to stories like this? Kids have access to the news. They can research this just like I am, and they are. Come on, man. What is this? Oh my goodness. I need to take a break. How is this? The truth cannot get any clearer than it is today, in my opinion. Now let's look up xenophobia, because that is what that article is based on. I mean, it sounds very much like one of their suggested treatments for xenophobia. Very much like the exposure therapy that they suggest that you participate in. That you sit far away and stare at a dog until you lose your fear of it. Lose your fear of it for what? So that you can go up to it and get your face mutilated? And then you're going to say, oh, I guess I was right being afraid of dogs. Especially people, what? These are kids you're talking about. 9-year-olds. You know how easily these dogs can take complete control over their body? What are you talking about? No, stop. Do not teach children that they have a mental problem if they don't want to be around a dog. Because listen, if there's a dog somewhere and a child finds out and they say, I don't want to go in there because that dog's in there, people, they're going to look at that as a mental problem that the child has. And you tell me why they would do such a thing. The only question you need to ask is, okay, is this thing that the child is afraid of, is it deadly? Can it hurt them? Is their fear of it justified on a scientific level? Yes, it is. So the child is right. They don't have a mental problem. They're right. You see, this should be easy to overcome. This, I shouldn't have to do much or put in a lot of effort to convince people that this is nonsense. It's healthy for kids to have a fear of dogs. Healthy. What on earth? Over 50% of all victims we're talking about, and we're telling that group that they shouldn't have any fear of these things? Do you know what some of these photos look like that you can Google, that kids can Google? I don't think I've shown them before. Well, I may be shown in the members area, but you can look them up yourself. Google dog attack child, dog mutilate child, and click images and just keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Kids have access to those images. Okay? That means it's okay. Stop trying to deceive them. You're making them dumb is what you're doing. You're teaching them against reality. They're supposed to be afraid of something that can so easily kill them and wants to kill them. And every single time they're killed, it's a slow death. It's torture. They absolutely should be afraid of these things. You are the one with the mental problem for saying that they have a mental problem. You're the one with a social disorder, with an anxiety disorder. Something is wrong with you. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Something is wrong with you for not wanting your child to be afraid of something as deadly as a dog. We need to examine your brain. Another reversal. Everything about dog culture is backwards. Here's another example. Cynophobia is an extreme fear of dogs. Now I'm reading this definition of cynophobia. They say it's the overwhelming fear of dogs. People with this anxiety disorder, Alejandro is a victim of this. They're trying to say that this boy is about to have some type of anxiety disorder. He has no disorder at all. As a matter of fact, he is entering into a stage of enlightenment in his life. Because now he's about to delve into the world that we dwell in. And this is a whole different world over here. This is where we deal with reality. We're not over here fantasizing. And now this boy is about to be a little more real on this planet. It's unfortunate he had to go through that. It's even worse that they got him a teddy dog. What? My goodness. They say people with this anxiety disorder feel intense fear and anxiety when they think about, see, or encounter a dog. Kids, you're supposed to stay away from dogs because they can easily kill you. They torture you and they want to very badly. So you should avoid dogs. And you got to counter this stuff, man. I don't even want to read this without objecting to it on the spot. In severe cases, it says, this phobia can cause people to avoid places where dogs might be. Kids, that's what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Precisely what you're supposed to do. You find, first of all, you ask first, will there be dogs where we're going? If they say yes, don't go. Simple as that. Nobody's going to tell me that kids have a mental disorder if they do that, if they take that advice. Under no I don't care what type of doctor you are, what type of degrees you have. You better pipe down. Nobody gonna tell me that a child who followed that advice has a mental disorder. Do you understand me? We're gonna make this clear. We're gonna make this, and shout out to War on Dogs. Shout out to War on Dogs. I've been reading a lot of her material because she is an excellent writer. Excellent writer. And I'm going to share a lot of the book in the members area. Most definitely. Because this is a massive, massive problem, people. This ain't nothing petty. They're supposed to be teaching kids to avoid dogs in school. This is what our teachers are supposed to be teaching them in detail and showing them unedited photos of the victims. The fact that these people refuse to show what these dogs actually do, that lets you know they're in the wrong and that they're fully aware of the hazard. Oh, we're not going to show that. Well, if the dog didn't produce such a gruesome injury, you wouldn't have anything to refuse to show. What nonsense. Yes, by all means, everybody of all ages, avoid places where dogs might be. And they say exposure therapy and cognitive behavior therapy can help people manage cynophobia. Get out of here. Get out of here. You want me to go and stare at a dog? That's only going to make me more infuriated. The longer I look at them, the more I detest them and don't want to be anywhere near them. What are you talking about? And there ain't nothing wrong with me. Don't know what's wrong with you. People, y'all have to look. You can't just let these people tell you anything. Say, hey, I'm a professional. I have a degree. I went to this school for this many years. Well, go back to that school. How about that? Because you clearly were taught wrong and you're currently teaching wrong. You out here telling kids they have a mental disorder for not wanting to be around a child predator, a lethal child predator. Look at all the statistics that fill you in on how they focus on kids. They say that the age range between 5 and 9 attack most often. Most often when kids are attacked, it's in the head, face area. Quite often they get scalped. Look at the statistic where they say that children are more likely to need emergency care treatment. A higher percentage of children need emergency care treatment. There's so many sort of subcategories and statistics that really exaggerate how much dogs are predators. They're child predators. The details of the statistics tell you they're child predators. Again, I have to keep referring to the statistics because numbers don't lie. And when we say numbers, we're talking about percentages as well. Keep that in mind. So what? The majority of attack victims are children. Age between 5 and 9 attack most often. Usually attacked in the face and neck area, where the adults usually attacked in the ankle or whatnot. They are far less capable of fighting off a dog attack. They're basically incapable of fighting off, especially when you talked about very small kids. They can't do nothing. They can't fight off no attack, and any amount of fighting that they try will only get them attacked more brutally. Do y'all understand that? And I'm talking about to you kids who out there who are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A bully breed will just toss you around like a rag doll and scalp you. Y'all saw that 11-year-old, he had, I think, like, what is it? 3/4, something like 3/4 of his scalp was removed. His skull was just exposed. That video I shared on Twitter, they were scalping that boy. Look at how gruesome these killings are. This sounds so sadistic. It sounds like something that a person would come up with as a form of extreme torture. And this is how dogs kill regularly. People, I mean, what do y'all have to see and hear? Do you need to see a dog mutilating a child? You need to watch that with your own 2 eyes. Hear the screams, hear the cries from the child. Do you need to go through something like that, something this very traumatic, which is nothing but the real world? That's what happens during these attacks. Does that need to happen for you to take this seriously and ban these things? Again, there's no excuse for not banning bully breeds. I understand it's much more difficult to ban all dogs. Much more difficult. But there is no excuse for not banning these large, vicious breeds, especially bully breeds. And instead, y'all out here with this rhetoric, y'all out here with these goofy stories like this one that just surfaced yesterday, where you advertising these bully breeds all through these media outlets. These people, they do this all the time. They do free advertisement for shelters. Don't tell me these people are anti-dog. These are dog lovers, these media outlets. That's why they're doing this. Pit bull with special needs found abandoned, still looking for a home. These stories, I have to navigate around these types of stories when I do research. They're everywhere, every day. Okay? We cannot exalt creatures like this. Simple as that. We can't. We can't exalt creatures that are willing and able and actually want and prefer to carry out attacks like this. And then y'all sat up there with your sick, let me keep it clean, PG-13 channel. Y'all sat up there and said that it was the kids provoking. That is one of the biggest lies ever put out anywhere. One of the worst pieces of propaganda is this narrative, this idea that most dog attacks on kids is provoked. And this has been put out by the behaviorists, the trainers themselves, veterinarians and everything themselves. Y'all put out this information and you did not back it up with not a single video, no evidence, no reports. You never, not once. Now I'm saying that you go look for them. You have never, not once, seen them try to support this idea that most attacks are provoked. You never seen them try to support that with video, with articles, with stories, with the details of the attacks, which we have. Because you can't. We're the only ones who can do that, who can actually support what we say with the actual reports, whether it be a written article or a video. So what are we talking about? This is why it's easy to be a crusader. Very easy. It's very attractive because naturally people love intelligence. It gives you a rush, a high, when you know that what you're doing is intelligent and you're in tune with what you are, which is the most intelligent being that we know of. I refuse to participate with y'all degrading my existence. And that's what they literally do. You want to be their friend, you got to be covered in dog hair. Sit on a nasty sofa. You'll be covered in dog hair. You'll be sick. You'll be stinking. You'll be nasty. I heard somebody refer to being spit on as an assault. Many people consider it assault to spit on someone. And that's basically what dogs do. And they want you to accept that. And if you don't, then you got a mental disorder. I don't think so. He was savagely attacked and mauled by a pit bull on the loose. Another unprovoked attack. His older brother explained they do not know what level of fear of dogs he has after going through such a traumatic. See, this is what I'm saying. It sounds to me like they badly don't want him to try to avoid dogs. This is what this sounds like. If they saw him avoiding dogs, doing what we just explained, asking, "Hey, are dogs there? Okay, I'm not going." If they were to see him do that, they would be worried for him. Oh no, he's traumatized. It's like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You want him to avoid? You need to avoid dogs yourself. What are you talking about? And I heard this is a bully breed. Wasn't this a Rottweiler? What are you talking about, man? Who made it a thing to be dumb, to be suicidal? How on earth did that become a thing? Well, I'm impressed. If somebody can make a culture like this dog nut culture, then anybody can create their own culture. What in the world is this? This go against our nature. He said it was such a devastating incident for him to go through and everything since. We tried a teddy, but it's just a teddy. We don't know how he'll react when he sees a dog. Why are you so concerned? Why are you so concerned about him avoiding dogs as if you badly don't want him to avoid them? Why? Why would you even put pressure on him like that? Now, They said this dog was on the loose. You can't avoid a dog on the loose. It comes up to you. But several kids have been attacked over their friend's house. Over someone's house. Jacqueline Duran was over someone else's house. Brooklyn Curry over someone else's house. If these were anti-dog people, they wouldn't have been in those homes. And they would not have been mutilated. Isn't that what you want? Why wouldn't you want a brother or sister, sibling, loved one? Why wouldn't you want them to avoid dogs? To avoid that. To make it so if that thing snaps and decides to maul someone, you know it's not your child. Because your child does not go into homes where dogs are. What? Okay, you tell me, what type of sense does it make to go where dogs are? How is that intelligent? To find out that there's 2 pit bulls in this home and say, oh, great, let's go inside. How is that intelligent? Nope. You all are going to have to explain yourselves now. See, this is not working in your favor, dog lovers. The emergence of the Crusaders, this is so bad for you right now. Because we not only do away with your lies and expose the rhetoric, but we're forcing you to explain the things that you stood on. Because nobody's ever forced you to elaborate. This is horrible, man. He said he will be going to a psychologist to ensure that he can overcome the traumatic incident and move on with his life. People, I see where this is headed. They're going to try to make it seem like it's better for him or somehow therapeutic for him to want to go around dogs. But all you have to do is ask a simple question. How is that going to help him? Being around dogs, all that does is make it possible for this to happen again. That's all it does. You don't get no benefits out of it. And listen, here's the thing. Kids know that. Kids listening to this video, they can agree with that. They're smart enough to understand. This is another big problem, is too many adults think kids are just dumb. Y'all got to cut that out. Stop talking to kids in a baby voice and changing your pitch and acting goofy. Talk to kids like regular adults, because their brains are extremely powerful and it's healthier for them when you are real with them. Just be your natural self. This idea that kids are dumb and they don't understand nothing is such nonsense. How many 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds have graduated college? It's been proven many times. Alejandro is a student at, St. Aidan's Primary School, but will not return for some time. Proud brother Raul, 21, says he will help the young lad keep up with work, but says a teacher might call in. Okay, so not quite ready to go to a public school. Look at how his life has been ruined. So dog lovers, you're saying that this was worth it. You all have to co-sign with this, put a stamp of approval on this, because this is required for your dogs to exist in society. Dogs are going to attack somebody. They're going to attack somebody's child. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. This is your sacrifice. Returning to school is too far for the moment, it says. Maybe we'll have teachers come in for the moment. We might take a small classroom for them to come in. We have a spare room here that we can use here. Man, this is terrible. It's so sad, man. This is so sad. You know what really makes it sad? This kid, Alejandro, this is terrible, man. Alejandro, before he was mutilated, he looked like he was about to grow up to be a player, a ladies' man. You can tell. He was on his way to being a heartthrob. I don't think he, as an adult, would grow to have problems getting women's attention. Men, we value our looks as well. And now, for the rest of his life, he just will have to wonder what he would have looked like had he never been mutilated. They did not, he's not getting the type of surgeries that Brooklyn Curry is getting. He's just, now I don't know, maybe they can, I'm sure they could still work something, but he had all that taken from him, just like that. It's not worth it. I don't care what you dog lovers say. It's not worth it. Even if this were to happen once a year in the world, it's not worth it. You need to get these things out of here. Get them out of here. Horrible story. Now, wait a minute. Now, that was the end of the article, I do believe. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. No words. No way of describing how thankful we are. I guess a lot of people came to see him. He said more than half of the estate came to see him, say hello, and chat with him. He said they're grateful. The Mizsan family invited us to their home. His mother embraced him. Raul got a tattoo of his brother's honor. Listen, I know some of the families of the victims, they hear a lot of my videos. And, I don't mean no disrespect at all. But you got to understand that I'm part of a crowd of people who researches, who gets deep into dog attacks, who follows dog attacks, every single dog attack that happens. I seek these stories out and review the cases, get the details in every single dog attack that is published out here and available. I've been dealing with them for the past, 5-6 years now. So I process this differently than many of you. And I'm affected by how this is so unnecessary and so very easy to avoid this. To make it where things like this is impossible. And to see the whole world say, nah. Yeah, let's just keep the dogs in society. Let's keep calling them man's best friend. Man's best friend. Yeah, this does not sit well with me. Listen, he should avoid dogs. He should avoid dogs. And you all should avoid dogs as well. Especially if you're talking about the type of dog that actually attacked him, which is a bully breed. Sir, you all need to avoid dogs like that. Now, I can understand you being okay around a really small dog, but the type of dog that attacked your brother, they're deadly. They kill adults all the time. They easily kill kids. They prefer to kill, attack kids. These are child predators. You have to understand, many people believe that the sight of a child gets processed in the dog's brain the same way the sight of a small dog would. And you see how these mutants will dart straight after a small dog as soon as they see it. A small anything. These are child predators. And children are supposed to avoid them. They're supposed to avoid them. And there's nothing wrong with the child for avoiding them. That's actually intelligent behavior. You're supposed to pat them on the back if they tell you that they avoided a dog today. You're not supposed to talk to them and tell them they have a mental disorder or that something is wrong. Oh, you're troubled. Oh, you're traumatized and troubled. Oh, is something wrong with you? Stop that. Can we please stop doing that? All of us. Stop volunteering to be brainless and dumb. Stop it. I can't take this no more. I can't. Where people, they act oblivious to what is insane. Do you not understand insane behavior when you see it? You all are involved in a very insane lifestyle. And you don't have the right to. You don't have the right to endanger other people. One of us need an island. Most definitely. We need a dog-free island. Because look at how few of us there are. It's not that many of us. You want to take my tax dollars, use it to finance an island for us. That'll be the cleanest island on the planet. Now, this video went a little longer than I expected. That happens. I think I put it in the description that this was a short live stream attempt. But this infuriates me. And plus, I'm in the process of writing a book. So I'm dealing with a lot of information. Look, I just got to get some stuff off my chest from time to time. And you're free to tune in. But this is very infuriating to watch. These types of stories to surface during a time like this is disgraceful. These goofy stories, pro pit bull stories, advertising pit bulls on articles for shelters. At a time like this, really, look, pets on the plaza. This is a whole article about a flipping shelter pit mutt. You can't make this up. See? Available for adoption. Huh?
It's time for Pets on the Plaza.
You got all these updates on kids that had their faces mutilated. You have all these deaths right now. This year just started. And this year started off with child fatalities, gruesome torturing of kids. What are you doing? You putting stuff like this out here? No, this has to go, man. Let's go full screen with this.
In part by Seafloor Carpet. Today we're meeting Alva. Here's 47 ABC, Sarah Ash.
This sweet girl is Alva. She is a 1-year-old pit bull mix with a beautiful brown and white fur coat. It didn't take long for this girl to show off her loving personality. In fact, she became fast friends with our chief meteorologist Rich Wardzik and jumped right in his lap. She also loved giving out hugs and saying hi to everyone who passed by. When she wasn't making new friends, Alva enjoyed walking around the plaza, sniffing the benches and peeking into every window. This girl also liked showing off some of her tricks for the camera, such as sit, especially when I had a treat in my hand. The shelter says Alva is a strong pup.
Wow. People, I'm sorry, I could not get through this whole video without having to stop it. This thing is loaded. This is loaded. Brace yourself.
This sweet girl is Alva. She is a 1-year-old pit bull mix with a beautiful brown and white fur coat. It didn't take long for...
Yeah, it's an annoying, goofy, always moving, bothering people, being a nuisance, okay? It's a unsightly, rodent, rat-looking mutant. That's what I see.
For this girl to show off her loving personality. In fact, she became fast friends with our chief meteorologist Rich Wardzik and jumped right in his lap. She also loved giving out hugs and saying hi to everyone who passed by.
That is disgusting. She got a big puddle of dog spit on her arm right now. Y'all see that? That disgusting, foul, filthy vermin, disease-ridden mutant just jumped on her and dispensed spit onto her person. Do y'all really see? Humans can't get away with this today. Not right now. Being spit on is viewed as assault. So guess what, dog lovers? Some people view this as assault. This is so disgusting.
And saying hi to everyone who passed by.
That is disgusting. Her sleeve became very wet, very fast. Do you know how unsanitary this is? How dangerous this is, especially a time like now? These things should not be allowed anywhere in public. Yeah, we come to put some pressure on this cult. Man, I'm so disappointed that these nutters have gotten away with this type of goofy, weird, evil, dumb, backwards nonsense. No mutt dumping spit on me. You out of your mind? You know, keep your dog away. Man, I want to provide you young people with ammunition. Ammunition for these dog nuts. Because they don't respect you. You're going to have to demand your space. So what I'm telling you, many of them are going to trick you into coming into their home. They're going to try to sneak their dog into your presence, especially these pit nutters, because they understand the stigma involved with these mutts. What did I say, stigma? They know that people are aware of how dangerous and lethal these things are. So they love to try to expose you to them. Okay? I don't want this type of world for you. But this is the type of world we are in.
Right in his lap. She also loved giving out hugs and saying hi to everyone who passed by. When she wasn't making new friends, Alva enjoyed walking around the plaza, sniffing the benches and peeking into every window.
Okay. Looking for something to eat. Did y'all see this? Do y'all know how many animals have defecated in areas like this? And y'all see dogs, they go straight for the bushiest areas. Any area that looks abnormal or sort of weird. But especially wooded places. Do you know what could have all happened in these spaces? And these mutants go around picking all that up like a vacuum cleaner. This is the most dangerous thing you could live with. This is the most dangerous thing you could have in your home, especially at a time right now with all these diseases that are mutating everywhere, that dogs always end up having somehow.
This girl also liked showing off some of her tricks for the camera, such as sit, especially when I had a treat in my hand.
See? Yeah, it only when you got food in your hand. Look, not everybody gets off on the behavior of a food-obsessed creature. That does nothing for me. I'm not impressed. I'm not humored at the sight of how obsessed the creature is, willing to do anything for food. Obsessed and totally under some type of spell when there's food around. I'm not amused by that. Look, some people are a little more sophisticated than that. Speak for yourself.
And the shelter says Alva is a strong pup and could use some training to help with her manners.
Yeah. Use some training to help with her manners? Did she say it's strong?
Pup and could use some training to help with her manners.
That means it'll attack you. It'll flip out and try to attack you. That's their way of telling you that. Manners? What is that supposed to mean? Now, this is a recent article, people.
And could use some training to help with her manners. But because she is very treat motivated, I'm told training her should be a breeze. This girl would do well in an active home.
They're all treat motivated. See how they rely on food? Did y'all? There was an attack here recently. And during the attack, people jumped in and started to throw food to distract the dogs with food. I don't think I reported that yet. It's an attack that just happened. They tried to use food. They get off on the power of food, the power that food has over dogs. I'm not amused by that. That is quite beneath me, actually. I'm turned off by that.
Training her should be a breeze. This girl would do well in an active home and would make a great jogging partner. Can you find...
What is an active home? And young lady, don't you think it's stupid to be next to that thing right now? If it leapt up and latched onto your face, what would you do? Nothing but scream and beg for help. And you probably get killed. You get badly dismembered easily. And there's nothing you'd be able to do about it. I leave you alone with this mutt. The dog is going to come out alive each and every time. And there's going to be blood. There's going to be a fight each and every time. So tell me how it's intelligent to do what you're doing right now. When I know at least that much, that if it snaps and attacks you, you won't be able to stop it. You see, this is very simple stuff. It's very simple. The truth is always simple. This is a crazy, insane, psychotic lifestyle. It's suicidal, totally unnecessary, putting yourself at risk for absolutely nothing. You get nothing out of this. Looking forward to being the next Jacqueline Duran or Brooklyn Curry. You're going to be the next hamburger face. Now you're talking about how you still love dogs. But I'm not afraid of dogs though. No, let's put an end to that stupid mentality and lifestyle. No, it is time to go, nutters. Time to go. You have shared and actually forced your bizarre, wicked, demonic, goofy, weird lifestyle onto the earth long enough. It's time to move on, people.
Find room in your heart for Alba. For 47 ABC, I'm Sarah Ash.
Man, to you know where with that nasty, stinking rodent. Stop trying to convince me I need one of these things in my life. Get out of here. What on earth is the fixation with? It is because many of these people are doing you know what with these dogs.
Now, Alva is available for adoption through the Humane Society of Wicomico County. She's fixed and up to date on her shots, and her adoption fee has already been paid for. So if you would like more information on making Alva a part of your family, you can log on to
be stupid. Risk your life, your family's life for absolutely no benefit whatsoever. The only thing you're going to get at the end of the day is a bunch of money wasted in the wind, burned. Money that you could have saved, you big dummy. Each and every one of you. You know how much money you waste on these worthless things? As Cars pointed out, no other organism feeds the children of another organism. And what type of backwards, dysfunctional organism would that be? If scientists found something like that, they would consider that organism flawed. They see some creature feeding the young of some other creature. They take it in for testing. What are you talking about? Nutters, y'all don't want to have this discussion, do you? You never do. I see some of you trying to talk tough online and on Twitter. Y'all know where I am. If you want a real debate, you can easily get one. But y'all not that dumb. You don't want to deal with people who stick with the facts and with reality. Somebody well-versed and ready to deal with your nonsense. And listen, nutters, any and everything you say, I'm going to pounce all over it. Because I know you haven't thought it through. That's why you still co-sign with it. You're easy work. You're made to be dealt with and embarrassed out here. So y'all can keep playing dumb if you want to. We will see you, maybe even in your own city in the near future, because we're going to hold the real rallies. And for the record, I did not know anything about this guy, Matt Walsh, that I shared one of his videos in the community section. I don't follow Matt Walsh. I didn't even know much about him before I saw that. Didn't know much about the guy. But I just thought that was a refreshing title of a rally. Was it to end a rally to end child mutilation? Something like that? Yeah, because it's sick. It's sick. And listen, it's irresponsible to keep ignoring how sick it is. How sick of a culture this is. Okay, listen. And listen, I'm not scared to deal with no video. IHD, what do you think about videos like this? Listen, I don't care what type of condition or physical health an individual dog may be somewhere. That does not justify putting healthy creatures like this in our communities. That makes no sense. Okay? This movement is totally, this dog culture is totally emotionally driven. There's nothing cerebral about it at all. There's no intelligence in it at all. It's all emotional garbage. And people are not going to want to be a part of no knee-jerk, goofy, emotional movement like that. The mind, we love intelligent things. We like things that make sense. We love things that make sense, that's logical, intelligent, and it will actually benefit you in ways. With talking about dogs, you're talking about financial benefits. All the money you save, health benefits, be a whole lot healthier. Safety benefits, what are we talking about? Man, yeah, I see these people out here talking like they want to debate an anti-dog person. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, you can talk crazy all you want. It was this story right here. Yeah, it was this story. This is the one I was talking about. I think this took place at the end of last year. Partner of loving mom mauled to death by her dog speaks of horrific attack. The dog had viciously attacked its owner just prior to the fatal mauling, biting him on the mouth and pulling him to the ground by his forearm. Partner of a mom was mauled to death. She wanted the dog to put down, leading up, returning her, revealed the car, repeated, blah, blah, blah. Not fully appreciated, okay? Whoa, he was known to be dangerous before the attack, but the extent of the dangers of the large dog were not fully appreciated. Listen to that. It was known to be dangerous. Y'all remember this story. Y'all remember this lady. She was the victim. And I think she was the owner. She loved her dogs. She was a dog lover. Okay? Says she was a much loved daughter, mother, sibling, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's this. In the lead up to the attack, one night, she was sitting on a sofa, having returned from a friend's house, when the dog began nuzzling her from behind. The dog would do this to force his owners from the sofa so that it could sit behind them and receive attention. However, as Mr. Steed grabbed the dog's eyes widened and dilated as it jumped at its owner, biting him on the mouth. It then lunged at Mr. Steed, grabbing him by the forearm and pulling him to the floor. So this must start attacking the guy first. Listen to that. You got a creature just start whooping up on the man of the house. You telling me it don't violate endangerment laws to have these things inside homes where kids are? Of course it does. Of course it does. You see, patriots are attracted to crusaders' narratives as well. Okay, there's some patriotism in there. Now, where was this? Lunged at, okay, started whooping up on the man of the house. He was covered in blood and in pain. He told her to call the ambulance. See, he's crying. He was bit on his left bicep through the muscle. Listen, the guy who's being attacked, he said he was just going with the attack. In fear, the dog would rip his hand off. So this guy was in complete submission as he was being attacked. No doubt terrified during the attack. Where you at, patriots? This is against the law. It's against the law. You don't have things like this in the home. Come on. We're not dumb. Now look at this. Okay, as the attack continued, the couple's other dog entered the room and the two dogs began fighting. Okay, listen to that. However, mom of two refused to leave the room as her partner panicked, looking for food to distract them. That is what I was talking about. It was this story. So, to distract the dogs, they started throwing food at them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Make it stop. Make it stop. Oh, what kind of alternate universe have we entered into? What type of bizarre life planet have we been forced to live on, man? What is this? Now, this is the only life that I'm aware of. Maybe I've had past lives in other planets. But this is a weird one. This is a weird ride. Okay? Our creator clearly has a sense of humor. I think it's quite obvious. Yeah, it's like a bad dream. It is very much like a nightmare. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, horrible story with Alejandro. It was a good chance he was about to be a ladies' man. But aside from that, people in general, they want their own natural face. And he's not alone. This happens all the time. It's quite common right now. And it's so crazy that people, they don't think that it's important to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone in the future. That is shocking to me. How many people don't think that this is something that we should remove dogs from completely from society in order to prevent. And then you ask them, okay, what do dogs do for us? The only thing they can say is that it licks you. That's it. Anything else that they say, they're asking you to impose it onto the dog. To refer to it licking you as love. You know, companionship. Here it is, you trapped the thing inside your home and you calling it companionship, as if the dog just had a choice whether or not to enter your home and just chose you to sit in company with you. You have to live in this fairy tale land in order to have and live this lifestyle. And I don't like that. You know, I dislike that very much. I like to be real and do what makes sense. I don't know whose dog that was that attacked him, but if that dog owner was an anti-dog person, it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have had a dog that could have broken loose to attack Alejandro. And if the family hears this video, if Alejandro hears it, I just want him to know, and everyone else to know, that it's okay to avoid dogs. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have a mental problem. Sadly, you have the evidence, the proof of why you should avoid them. Try not to be where you know they are. That's smart. That's smart. And we need to teach young children. We should teach them that at the earliest age possible. Dogs are deadly, and they prefer to attack children. Stay away from them. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this live stream. I see you, Gene, in the building. Luis, Deaf Rangers. Right? Everybody up in here. Digimon. Mutants out. Big shout out to you, who is a member of the channel. And an excellent name, Dog Water. Big shout out to Dog Water. Macho Mike. A lot of new faces in here. Serena, I see you. Hope you all are doing well and living a very clean and fresh smelling dog-free life. And I hope to see you all back on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.